Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. How are you, everyone? Alhamdulillah, I'm also good. In today's lesson, which is lesson 16, inshallah, we are going to learn the pointer fragment. This fragment is called Murakkabe Ishari. And this, this is a fragment. So this is not a complete sentence, but it's a combination of two ism. And in this fragment, the combination is that of a pointer ism with another ism. Okay. In lesson 15, we learned the combination of a harf of nasb with an ism. And in today's lesson, we are going to learn the combination of two ism. Both the components in this combination are ism. One is a pointer ism and another ism which is pointed at. The other ism is the one which is pointed at, and that ism is called Mashar, Ileh. First word in this combination is a pointer ism. And Alhamdulillah, I think we learned this these pointer ism in flexibility of ism. Remember in lesson number 5, we learned these pointer ism. Hada, hadhihi, zalika. These all we learned. Excuse me. And while the second word in this combination, while the second word is a proper ism with al in the beginning, always with al in the beginning. If this is a pointer fragment, then the first one in this fragment is a pointer ism, and the second one is a proper ism with al in the beginning. Okay. This introduction. This fragment is made up of two parts. The first is a pointing word, which is called الاشاره. The second is that which is being pointed at, and that is called al-mushar ilay. An example of such a fragment in English would be that cow. So that is the would be the ism-ishara, the pointer word, and the cow would be the mushar ilay. Okay. Now, important points or the rules for the pointing fragment. The grammatical rules for this fragment are as follows. Number 1, ism ishara and the mushar ilay must match in all four properties. Do you remember, like anything that any fragment that matches in all four properties? Another fragment, remember the mausoof sifa, right? Mausoof sifa, they also match in all four properties. So this is the second one which matches in all four properties, because this fragment is also a combination of two ism. Okay. The second important rule is the mushar ilay must have an al on it. Always must have an al on it. And another is nothing can come between ism ishara and its mushar ilay. So in this fragment, if the ism ishara, the pointer word, and another ism, they come side by side, adjacent to each other. There is no other word. There cannot be any other word in between these two. And so you got the point, because alhamdulillah, we have learned mudaf ilay. Then we have harf of jar fragment, harf of nasb fragment, mausoof sifa, and this is the fifth one that we are learning. So in these two components of the pointing fragment, they should come very close to each other. That's the same case with the harf of jar fragment. As soon as harf jar comes, then ism majroor. The same is here. As soon as the ism ishara comes, immediately mushar ilay, and ism with al on it. Okay, now these are ism ishara, the first component in this fragment, which is ism ishara, and these are examples of ism ishara, and these are for near objects. Ism ishara lil qareeb. So, and I think we learned it in lesson 5 also. Hada, hadihi. Both are pointing word for near thing, and this is singular. Haza, this for masculine. Hazihi, this for feminine. And then we have paired pointing word, hazani and hatani. Hazani means both of these, and both of these are masculine. And hatani is for two ism that are there near, pointing towards them, and both are feminine. So that's the pointing word for feminine objects which are near, both of these, hatani. Then we have the plural pointing ism, haulai, these. And haulai is for both masculine and feminine, both. Haulai, haulai, these. So these all pointing ism, pointing words on this page are for near objects. Ismu ishara lil qareeb. And then on this page we have pointing ism for far objects. Ismu ishara lil ba'id. And these are on the last page we had haza and hazi, this and this, right? And over here in the singular column we have zalika and tilka. Zalika is that, tilka is again that, but for feminine thing, feminism. And zamika is the masculine, and tanika is zanika and tanika. These two words are for paired objects. So pointing ism for paired object. And then we have again ulaika is for both masculine and feminine, and it's a plural one. Those people, or those boys, those girls. So ulaika for both masculine and feminine. Okay. Now we have some examples, and in just look at the examples and see the first component is ism ishara, right? Zalika, we just learned it on the previous page. Zalika is ism ishara lil ba'id for masculine object, right? So, and al-kitabu, kitabun is common, but this is made proper with al, and we learned that the mushar ilay, the second one in the mushar ilay, which is second one in the component, should always have al. So al-kitabu is mushar ilay. And another rule was that they both of these, the ism ishara and the mushar ilay, they should match in all four properties. So let's see. Zalika, we know that ism ishara are fixed ism, right? They don't show their status just by the look. But over here, zalika, but we also know that if an ism is separate in its original form, it is always rafa. So there is no harf jar in before it. There is no nothing that is affecting its status, like harf of nasb or harf of jar. So on its own, it's rafa. Okay, so its status is rafa. Zalika status is rafa. Now number, we know that it's a singular pointing word, and gender, we know it's for masculine, it's masculine. And type, ism ishara is one type of proper ism, ism, right? So all ism ishara are proper, all damair are proper, all ism mawsul are proper. So it's, the same way, ism ishara is proper. Then we have al-kitabu, which is the second component, and it is rafa with what? Dhamma, single dhamma, right? And then number, al-kitabu, number is singular. And for gender, we need to see whether it is one of, for any word, we need to see whether it comes under any of the feminine type. If it's feminine, then it's feminine. If it's not feminine, then we call that as masculine. So we don't see ata marbuta or alif maksura or alif mamduda, and al-kitabu is also not among the those types of, because the Arab said so. So al-kitabu is masculine because it doesn't come under any category of feminine noun, right? So, and al-kitabu is proper with al. So both of these match in 4 properties. That's why this is a fragment of, this is a pointer fragment. So this is a murakkab ishari. Another example, ulaika. Ulaika rusulu. Okay. And ulaika, being again, it's a separate one word, and because there is nothing acting on it, so it's a rafa in its original form. And number, we know that it's a plural. Ulaika is plural, and it can both be masculine or feminine, right? So gender is, can be both masculine or feminine. And type is proper because it's ism ishara. Ar-rusulu is rafa, and we can see this dhamma at the end. So it's rafa. It's rusulu is human broken plural. So human broken plural can be singular feminine and also can be plural. Over here it is plural. Why? Because it is taking ism ishara plural, right? So it can be treated both singular feminine or masculine plural. And gender is masculine, and type is with al. Mu'arraf, this is called mu'arraf bil lam, made proper with lam, right? So the it's proper with al. Okay, so these were the 2 examples of pointer fragment. Another 2 more examples. Haulai is, we know, rafa, it's plural. It can both be masculine and feminine. So it can both be masculine and feminine, and type is proper, right? Al-qawmu al-qawmu is rafa with dhamma. It is plural because it's ism jama, remember? Al-qawmu, an-nasu. So these are plural ism. So plural, and al-qawmu is masculine, and type is proper with al. In hazal Qur'ani, sorry, hazal Qur'anu, haza rafa, and we know haza is singular and for masculine objects, and type is proper. because it is mashara. And al-Quranu is rafa with dhamma. We know it's singular, and we know it's a masculine noun, and masculine ism, and proper with al. So all four properties match. So actually the exercise on this page and the previous page is to show you that the pointer fragment, the ism ishara and the mushar ilay, both of these always match with all four in all four properties. So these both match in all four properties.